Hello and welcome back to another video here on the YouTube channel. Today we are going to be playing even more post-rotation format here on TCG Live with a deck that I've seen do well at a couple of the local events that I was a judge for, which is this deck right here that I'm affectionately referring to as Tera Slop. Reason why I'm calling it Tera Slop is because it is not quite Terapagos. There's no Noctowls here. It's just a bunch of Tera Pokemon having a great time. This deck was honestly really funny to see, so I wanted to play it for you guys. Let's go ahead and get right into the list. We're going to start things off on the Pokemon side with 4 Teal Mask Ogerpon, just drawing us a bunch of cards and getting all of our energy into play. This is pretty much the key Pokemon in our deck, going to be one of our primary attackers as well as our prime way of drawing cards and accelerating energy, which we'll get to in a sec. Running 2 Teal Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon to wall out stuff like Marnie's Grimmsnarl, as well as hit into other decks with abilities as well. Joining that, we got Terapagos, just a solid hitter. We've got Wellspring Ogerpon for evolution decks. We've got Moltres as a counter to the grass decks that are going around, Lillie's Clefairy for Dragapult and Raging Bolt, and of course we've got Fez and Latias as well as support with 3 Meowth EX for supporter grabbing. Now the original list that I saw played 2, but I decided to cut the Articuno in the list for the Meowth, as I did not think the Articuno really made much of a difference in the Alakazam matchup. Let's move on to our trainer cards, where I can show you guys, well, obviously we have 4 Liz Determination, but the other major card in this deck is End's Plan, moving 2 energy from our bench Pokemon to our active Pokemon, enabling us to power up a Wellspring Ogerpon in just 1 turn. We also are running 4 copies of Energy Switch, Boss's Orders, Briar for prize manipulation, 4 bug catching set to find our energies and Ogerpons, 4 Ultra Ball for Pokemon search, and Area 0 to fill out our bench. Energy, we are running 13 count 'em grass energy for a ton of energy on the field and a ton of cards drawn, 4 Prism Energy to go on any of our various Pokemon and get them attacking, and Legacy Energy is the ace spec of choice to mess up our opponent's prize map. Overall, this deck has been a lot of fun for me so far, and I wanted to show you guys it, so let's get into the games. Going first against something with a Wellspring Ogerpon in it, we do have a little bit of a hand to work with here, so we can just Teal Dance. There's a Prism Energy to play with. I'm going to Tera Orb here just then a little bit, grab ourselves another Teal Mask Ogerpon, and I think we're going to attach the Prism Energy to the Ogerpon as well, just to try to get it attacking as soon as humanly possible. Let's see where our opponent does. I still have no idea what they're playing. It really could be anything. I'm assuming it's some sort of Terra box, but then again, I've seen even Dragapult have a Wellspring in it before. I would assume we're about to get sobbed. And we'll see very quickly what we're working with here. It's going to be a Team Rockets deck. Interesting. Unless the Team Rockets is just a method to the madness, if you will. We are retreat locked. Well, we got nothing. Pretty neat. Hand of bricks sometimes this game gives you. You run 18 energy and find nothing. If I do find myself an out to a Meowth, I think, what in the Regice? What in the Regice? Sobbed once again. Alright, there's a bug catching set to hopefully help us out here. That is pretty nice to see. Let's go ahead and Teal Dance onto both of our Ogerpons, draw some more cards. There's another Grass Energy, love to see it. We might actually be able to knock out this Ogerpon too if we're lucky. Yeah, we just need another energy attach, and this Ogerpon is going bye-bye. Love to see it. Get to save our End's Plan and Boss's Orders for another turn. Next turn, we could go End's Plan attached to Wellspring and knock out both Tarantulas. I can't remember how much HP the Spidops have. I believe if they evolve into the Spidops, though, we cannot do that. 130. It's just out of our range. You're going to see Reggie charge, I assume, from our opponent here, but we are going to get stamped. But we pull into a Meowth, so we can just go ahead and go Meowth EX for... We can go ahead and Meowth EX here. So our opponent is lagging, it seems. Oh no, my Prism Energy. Oh, there's a Fez. That's pretty nice. Let's see, they got 2 Water Energy into the discard. Let me see the charging up ability. Yeah, the beautiful thing here is that we just have access to Meowth for Lilies here. What is the seal? I'm so confused. Ready charge. Getting ready to Ice Prism. We do find ourselves that Prism Energy, so we're going to go ahead and Meowth. We could go... Now, this is where we have a choice. We could go Meowth for End's Plan here and guarantee a knockout, or we could just... But then it would leave us with basically nothing. So I am going to go ahead and Last Ditch Catch for a Lilies here. And we are going to gamble a little bit just because I'd rather have 6 cards to play with. We do get 2 bug catching sets, so we can... And okay, we're so chilling. We're fine. We're gonna go ahead and Teal Dance once onto our Teal Mask Ogerpon. Bug catching set again, why not? Grab 2 more energy. Let's get our Teal Dancing going on. Pull another Meowth from deck, and I am gonna put down the Terapagos as well. And Myriad Leaf Shower takes the knockout. Two more prize cards for me. Now I'm really curious what this seal's for. Are we evolving into a Dugong here? What are we playing with? Fezandipiti away. I'd really love to see like what the game plan is here. Dugong, washout. Okay, so it is... Okay, so I get it. So it's basically just, it's energy manipulation, but it only goes from bench to active. Interesting. And our opponent's just going to concede because I think they see the writing on the wall. And there it is. Take that one down. All right, we're going second into what I assume to be a Mega Starmie Frostlass deck. Let's see what our opponent does. Risky Ruins immediately hitting the field. We have a small but non-zero chance of a donk. Let's see if we can get there. Ooh, okay. That's pretty nice. It's a very small chance, but it's a non-zero chance, so we fish for it. Oh, we have it! We just need another Ogerpon. No. Oh, man, that sucks. Oh, we have it. We even have it if we have a Latias. No. No! Alright, buddy. Sure, you can have it. You can have a turn. You can evolve into your Mega Starmie, play your supporters. So kind of have to figure out how we want to play this one. Because our Starmie, the Starmie's just going to keep dealing us damage over time. So Boss's Orders isn't going to do much. I can't really get much off of Clefairy either. It's like I could do this and Energy Switch one now. I'm gonna bump the stadium with Area 0. And I think the correct answer is to just go Demolish for 140 here. Bench Fez and Demolish. It's like we lose, like we're really, really sad if they have Energy plus Gust or really any sort of Pokemon search, but I mean, to be fair, we are going to take 2 prizes regardless. We're going to get Monkey Dory online and start playing with the damage a little bit. I am happy to see that they don't really have much Pokemon search, but they are going to get a Dark Energy here. They're going to probably go Adrenaline Brain to the Fez, I would want to assume, or maybe Teal Mask. Fez it is. And they're going to Jetting Blow for knockout and probably put more damage on Fez. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Off of Fez plus draw. Really just Fez. There's a Meowth. Okay, we can possibly play around with a little bit of stuff. There is another energy. So I think we are going to go ahead and Meowth this turn for a Lillies. And we're just going to draw some more cards, because I need more cards. There's another Ogerpon for me. We're doing 180, which is not quite enough, unfortunately. They're going to find themselves another Starmie. Now, interesting to note that if I have an out to a Wellspring, there's a small chance I can get a very, very good turn. They're going to Wally's Compassion their Starmie here, which is going to suck. Put the energy back in a hand for him. They're going to continue to damage that Fez. Oh no, damaging my Meowth now. Getting it ready for a knockout of their own. Alright, let's put the stadium back down. We'll go ahead and Teal Dance to the active. Oh, Bug Catching set. Get 2 more. We do have an Ents plan available. How much damage am I doing right now? Doing 180 at the moment. That's enough to knock out a Meowth here. I do get knocked out here to this. I think the correct answer is to knock out the Meowth. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that is the correct answer here. Which would mean Meowthing for this. Yeah, okay. We're gonna Meowth. Grab Boss. Ooh, but it's not enough, and I'm sad. Although it's not really the end of the world, because they do have to commit energy to retreat here. And then we can possibly take 3 prize cards on this turn. If we draw the right things, which is an out to some form of energy switching here. Well, we could go Terapagos. Terapagos is an option, but I'd really like to go down to 3 prize cards here if I can. It's like I need double energy switch plus... Let's get Terapagos out regardless. I need double energy switch plus Prism Energy off of... Let's just Lilies and see what we get. You know, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. We still could do things with it, provided we draw the right stuff. Where to place this energy here? I think we go Legacy to Wellspring. And then we take 2 prize cards. And they have given me an out to discard my liabilities. Thank you, sir. I very much appreciate it. Don't know if they realized that that's what they were doing for me, but that is what they did for me. Setting up for a Mega Frostlass attack, it looks like. How much energy have I been? 5? Okay. Promote this. Teal dance. Teal dance. There's a Briar, which admittedly doesn't really do much for me this turn. Let's do this. End's plan gets me short. Or I can take 2, go to 2 off of boss, Meowth boss. Yeah. Oh, but I can't. Can't end Flan and Meowth and boss in the same turn. Oh, this is rough. Oh, and I'm 1 energy. Oh, oh, if I had an energy switch. Oh, if I had an energy switch. Oh, energy switch, why must you forsake me as such? We should still be fine, though. If no boss, we are a happy boy. Ah, it's not fun. That's gonna be 7 energy hitting the bin, which takes me to not much left. All right. We must find energy plus double energy switch off of, like, nothing. Oh no. Hold up. Okay, we got something here. I've used all 3 Meowths at this point, right? Yep. We stop. Okay, this is gonna be me fighting for my life. I get some turns here to play with. I don't get much to work with here. I just need to get enough for a torrential pump before I lose to Latias EX dying. And I have... Oh, never mind. They just have boss for game. Okay. Yeah, oh, 1 energy short on that really sucks. Where are all my energy switch? Like, I used 1. They're just not there? Okay. Alas. All right. We're going first into what I know is, or going second into what I know to be a Dragapult because of the mulligan they took. But they are starting Meowth, which is pretty awesome. So what I'd like to see is an out to start getting Wellspring Ogerpon online. But we'll see what we got. Looks like we're going to be Teal dancing. And we're going to be bug catching. And we're going to be Teal dancing. If I find another energy switch, I'm very happy. Teal dance. That is a Ultra Ball for Meowth. Which might actually not be the most horrendous idea in the world, but I would have to sack a resource here. I think we can afford to get rid of a energy. Just because if I can start dealing a lot of damage to this thing really quickly after refreshing my hand, I'm a happy boy. Or I can just go End's plan. No, I mean, I have an energy switch. It's like, because that leaves me with nothing afterwards. And they probably have something. So we'll just go energy switch and then Lilies. Try 8 more. Alright, so we whiffed that. Unfortunate. But we do have an out for Wellspring for the next turn to kind of just play around. We'll just pass. It's gonna be really sad if my opponent has nothing, they just pass. All right, time to start dancing again. Another Prism Energy. Dance away. It's a Legacy Energy, which I don't hate to have. I would prefer for it to go onto a Wellspring, but in this case, we don't really have that. I am going to put the Wellspring down. We do want to definitely attack this turn, so I am going to Prism Energy onto here, and then we're going to go ahead and Lilies. We'll go dancing. We'll put that there. We'll continue dancing. And so next turn, if they retreat the Meowth, we actually have a Wellspring basically online and ready to go to play with. They don't have access to a... They don't have access to a unfair stamp, but they could judge. I am going to go ahead and swap an energy over there now and just attack. Because this is now a liability for them, and they are, unless they Crispin Tucktail, they can't exactly get this out of the active, which sucks for them. They're going to go into a Dracloak. We're not going to see a Dragapult attack this turn, which is very important. We may see a Jet Headbutt, which would be interesting. Oh no, they're just gonna Crispin. So we're gonna see a Phantom Dive hit happen this turn. We'll see what we draw off these Teal dances, because they could determine exactly what we do. Because we could be going for a Lillie's Clefairy kind of play, or we could be going for a Wellspring Ogerpon Mask kind of play, depending on what we see off the top deck plus our dances. And they are the Dusknoir variant of Dragapult, it seems. So they're going to Phantom Dive us this turn, which isn't great, but it is okay in the long term, I think. Gonna Phantom Dive. Put some damage on my board. I'm assuming he's gonna spread it across all of my Tera Pokemon. Indeed. Alright, let's see what we draw here. So we're gonna go ahead and Teal Dance first, I think, because we want to just see what comes off here. So we can Ends Plan this turn. We do have double Energy Switch, which only does do basic energy. So now we've got a choice. We could go... I think the correct answer is to go Meowth for Ends Plan and grab a Lillie's Clefairy and get that swinging. Because they need Crispin next turn to do anything to us. Let's grab an Ends Plan. Retreat our grass energy out of here. Clefairy. Ends Plan. We're gonna grab one energy from here and one energy from here. I'm gonna go ahead and Energy Switch another energy to our Wellspring. And Full Moon Rondo. Now the important thing for us to realize here is that we have this Wellspring and a benched Meowth as a liability for our opponent. Which, basically, this Wellspring can take 3 prizes almost at any time. Just need to see the right cards. So unless they have Crispin in hand, they're not swinging, which Crispin in hand is not unheard of. Crispin in hand is most certainly not unheard of. It's gonna be a Fez, which makes sense. Fez for 3. Flip that script. Well, let's see what our opponent does here. I think probably, I mean, the best move for them is to just get a Dragapult online, but I don't know if they can do that. In which case, I don't know if they necessarily wanted to promote Dracloak. They haven't reconned yet, so we'll see what happens. Apologies. Let's see what our opponent will do. I mean, if we don't have a Dragapult online, you definitely do not want to leave this Dracloak active, because it is very, very vulnerable just sitting there. We're gonna, I assume, see it's either Dragapult or Dusclops, or it could be another, Dracloak, I assume. It's gonna be Dracloak. In which case, if our opponent does not have an out to a Dragapult, I'm going to do everything in my power to swing into 2 Dracloaks and knock them both out, especially with the Meowth EX on the bench. If no Dragapult, that is what we do, or that is what we hope to do at a minimum. In which case, it may involve me giving up my Lillie's determination. They're gonna Lillies themselves. Which means we are gonna not see it. We're not gonna see a Phantom Dive happen this turn. Jet Headbutt? Very possible. Phantom Dive? Definitely not. Although, to be fair, we could just see a Neo Upper get slapped down, although most of these decks are running Stamp at this point. Are they gonna Curse Blast now? That is the question. The answer is no. Alright, so let's go Teal Dancing. Important thing to note is we are pretty vulnerable right now. With the right cards, our opponent can just win the game immediately, which would not be ideal. I'm gonna thin down as much as I can here. And rip for a Legacy or a Prism, and we get the Legacy. Beautiful. Torrential Pump. We'll knock out the bench Dracloak. So now they need Rare Candy, Dragapult plus Crispin, and we're at 2 prize cards. And we do have Ends Plan as a possibility for next turn as well. Just depends on what they put up in the active. I think they have to put up Dreepy here. As much as it may seem wrong, if you don't put up Dreepy, you are shooting yourself in the foot because it guarantees no Phantom Dive. At least with this, you have a somewhat of an out to a Phantom Dive. Now, the really unfortunate thing is I lose to... If they have... This is what they need to win the game on the spot. They need Dusknoir, Dragapult, Rare Candy, Crispin. Because they can Curse Blast one of my Meowths, Dragapult deactive, or Phantom Dive deactive, put 10 damage here, 5 damage on whichever Meowth they don't target. If they don't have that exact combination of cards, I get to live another turn. So that's kind of what we're playing for right now. No matter what, though, if they don't have that exact combination of cards, then I can, no matter what, knock out Meowth EX on the bench with Torrential Pump. Even if they Adrenabrain. But if they Adrenabrain, it also guarantees that I don't win the game. Or it also guarantees that they don't win the game, so I will take that any day of the week. So please no Crispin, Rare Candy, Dragapult, Dusknoir. It's a Duskull. So that bodes well. That's a stamp, so I don't guarantee to win the game. Unfortunate. Okay, I guaranteed win the game. Top deck boss is pretty good. I'd personally say top deck boss pretty good. Have we supported? No, we have not supported. So they technically could still win the game if, again, they have Dragapult, Rare Candy, Crispin, Dusknoir. Otherwise, I win the game. So they're just going to concede because the writing is on the wall. Although technically it isn't really on the wall. They didn't know that I had boss in hand. So be it. Next game. All right, going second against Marnie's Grimmsnarl. Technically do have the out to the turn one dog. All I would need would be another Ogerpon, another energy, and another energy switch, and an out to Wellspring. So, you know, me just completely saying copium. But Teal Mask Ogerpon is great against Impidimp and the various Grimmsnarl components. Grass weakness, pretty awesome. They grab the Latias, and they already have a monkey established. Don't really like that. Let's get dancing, shall we? Ooh, gambling. Hey, love to see that. Let's dance again. Oop. Let's go gambling. 2 more energy. I think we'll go ahead and throw down this and we'll just take the knockout. I don't really see a reason why not to. Get that prize race started early. No Grimmsnarl next turn. No damage for them to play with. Let's just keep going. Fez! Now I would assume our opponent has some sort of supporter in hand, but man, it would have been nice to get the turn 1 Wellspring. But no Impidimp on field is great for us. Really, against Grimmsnarl, I think our biggest thing is just taking as many prize cards as we can pre-Grimmsnarl. Promoting Frostlass, yeah, fair enough. I mean, you're gonna get 3 pieces of damage plus 1 monkey, but you have no Snorunt on board, no Impidimp on board. I don't know how much I like it. Does our opponent have anything else in hand, though? That is the question. Any sort of Pokemon search would be, but the stamp is gonna help. Means no Secret Box. Hey, look, a Meowth for Lilies. Hey, look, a Lilies. We could also Meowth for boss if it makes more sense, but there's a Spike Meowth. I think Meowth for Lilies next turn is gonna make way more sense for us. Especially if we can stop Freezing Shroud damage from ticking, that'll be very helpful. They're just gonna pass, and the Freezing Shroud is gonna tick. Stopping Frostlass ticks this turn is going to be very nice, and we don't even need to Meowth, and I'm honestly not even gonna Meowth. Save those Meowths for when we need them. That's not much, but we do get a little bit of dancing going on. I'm gonna attach the one on the bench. There's a little ends plan. Still not anything, so we're just gonna go ahead and shower for knockout. Would have really loved to see a stadium bump there, but alas, such is life. Legacy Energy being grabbed off the prizes. I would have loved to I'm very glad that we pulled it off the prize cards. That would have been really, really sucky. I would probably be putting the Legacy Energy down on the bench, Teal Mask, in all honesty. Petrol. is gonna find. I mean, they already used their stamp, so I would imagine maybe Poffin. Right on the nose, looking for some snow runs. You want to know what would be a great top deck in this particular instance? A Wellspring. Although actually, I'm not really complaining too much about that. We're gonna go to 2 prize cards here. They're gonna Shadow Bullet us. Adrenabrand, I would assume, would be going to the bench Teal Mask if I had to make a educated guess. Just because it does make it nope, straight to the active, but they don't have a Snow Run to knock me out, so unfortunate. Oof. You hate to see that. You hate to see the misplay. Very unfortunate indeed for our opponent. But alas, such is life. Lillie's Determination, draw 6 more cards. Hey, there's the area 0 I'm looking for. And we'll Teal Dance. There's a little Meowth for us a little bit later for when we need it, but for now, Myriad Leaf Shower takes the knockout and takes us down to 2. Alrighty. Let's see what our opponent has to offer. A concession. Alrighty, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy, please make sure you leave a like down below, help out that YouTube algorithm, and leave a comment telling me what deck you want to see me play next. I did see a couple good ideas in the comment section. Just really wanted to play this particular deck for you guys this week because it looks a lot of fun. Definitely let me know what you guys think about it and how it fares for you on the ladder. With that, I will see you guys next week. My name's been MCD. Goodbye.